Hi guys, so today's video is going to be a book review over In Real Life by Nev Schulman. So for those of you that don't know who Nev is, Nev, his brother Rel, and their friend Henry all made a documentary about Nev's own personal experience with online dating. That documentary is called Catfish. The success of that documentary has been turned into a TV show on MTV with Nev and one of his best friends, Max. They go through and try to help people find who their catfish are. Nev, Rel, and their friend Henry kind of coined the term catfish to basically mean someone who they aren't online. So the actual quote that they pulled this from came from Angela's husband, Vince. So I'm going to read that quote because I could tell you the story myself, but I believe that Vince did a much better way of explaining it, so reading that is just going to be more beneficial. So this quote can quickly be found on IMDb. All I did was search catfish quote, and it's the quote that made the movie, the title of the movie, what it is. So it's the first quote in the little quotes tag on IMDb. I realize you can't see that, but you know, that's okay. So the quote is, "They used to take cod from Alaska all the way to China. They'd keep them in vats in the ship. By the time the codfish reached China, the flesh would be mush and tasteless. So this guy came up with the idea that if you put these cod in these big vats, put some catfish in with them, and the catfish will keep the cod agile. And there are those people who are catfish in life. And they keep you on your toes, they keep you guessing, they keep you thinking, they keep you fresh. And I thank God for the catfish, because we would be droll, boring, and dull if we didn't have somebody nipping at our fin." So initially, when I first saw the documentary, I thought that the quote was really clever, and it made sense that they chose catfish for the title of the documentary. Again, catfish has become a worldwide phenomenon, and it is known as people who aren't who they say they are. So in Nev's book, it's kind of a biography memoir, but it's also kind of a self-help book-ish. Honestly, I didn't really know too much what to expect from it, but I love the documentary, I love the TV show, so I picked it up. And the full title is In Real Life, Love, Lies, and Identity in the Digital Age. So throughout the book, Nev basically goes on, explains his own catfish story, but he also goes through and gives you a little more insight into some of the catfish that he sees on the TV show. So going through these experiences, he also kind of gives advice about how you should and shouldn't interact with people online. So from his own personal experience, which a lot of it I had no idea, like he goes through a lot of his backstory and how he got to the point of making the documentary with catfish. So he goes through and talks about how he used to be kind of a really terrible person, like he just really didn't care what other people thought, and he basically was just this kind of, he wasn't the person that he wanted to be. So through his own life experiences and finding outlets online is how he met Angela. And through Angela, he met all these other people, which if you read the book or if you watch the movie, the documentary, you can find out exactly what happened with all of that. And it was very eye-opening for him, and he did fall for it, and so he goes through in the book kind of explaining like why catfish do the things they do and why the hopefuls, he calls them, why they fall for the catfish. And basically everyone that he has run into on the TV show, he has pretty much said the same thing. They all are looking for an outlet. They're all looking for somebody to listen to them. He also talks about how we as a society, and he often mentions, you know, people under 40, but I think you can even go further and to say anyone that has a Facebook or a smartphone. Just we as a society are online too much. And I have to say I agree with him. And he gives some kind of tips and advice for how you can start changing your life into the life that you really want to be. Now, I read this just because I thought it was entertaining, and I really did enjoy the book. However, most of his kind of tips and tricks I try to do myself as well. Like one of the tips that he mentions is to go offline for one day out of the week, every week. It'll help kind of try to break that addiction that we all have to Facebook and Twitter and Tumblr and Instagram and any other social media site there is, YouTube for example. So it helps to break that addiction, and it helps break the addiction to texting and you know, snapping pictures of everything. And I think it's a really great idea to go offline one day a week because it helps you engage more just in life. And he goes on and on about how you should really kind of engage more with people. You make better friendships when you can engage with them in real life, hence the title, than you do just talking to them on Facebook or through text messages. There are a couple of points in this book that I should have marked with like post-its because I thought that they were great, that I really kind of wanted to use for this video. I might go back and look them up and put them in my blog post whenever I write this post. But it's just, it was really not necessarily eye-opening, at least not for me, because a lot of these things I agree with. While you're reading it, he challenges you to various different things. There's a chapter towards the end of the book, Digital Detox. He goes through Nev's rules for social media. So basically, again, he's not like a professional, but he's been there. He's gone through all of this before, so he has some insight and some ways, and I completely agree with most of these. So there is 11 kind of rules for how to detox off social media. And again, I agree with most of these. The one thing that I didn't agree with him on is he talks about, well, I take that back. I kind of agreed with him on it, but then again, I kind of didn't. So there's one chapter where he talks a lot about photographs and how we are addicted to taking pictures to show people where we're at. While I think that is true, I also have to disagree with it. Being a photographer myself, like, it's fun for me to take pictures of the events that I am at, but I do it mostly for personal reasons. He goes through talking about how people do it for the attention, and if you do it for the attention, you need to rethink why you're doing it. I'll have to give it a 4 out of 5 stars because of the fact that he targets certain people and thinks that just those kind of people are reading his book. Because I know at one point he was like, oh, if you're still reading this, it's because you want to know how to do blah, 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 blah. No, I'm still reading this because I'm interested in seeing what you have to say and how it relates to your own experiences. Not because I myself need help realizing that I need to get off social media. Like, that's just, no. Now, there are those people that are probably reading it for that reason, and, you know, more power to you. It'll probably relate to you a little bit more than it did to me, but overall, I really, really did enjoy this book. It was a great way of seeing the behind-the-scenes world of Catfish. While there wasn't too much that I didn't already know from the Catfish documentary, it was interesting to see more of the background story before they started filming. So yeah, if you're into the documentary Catfish, or if you're into the TV show and just kind of want to know what Nev has to say, I definitely recommend this book. It was a good read. It was a fairly fast read. I could have gotten it done sooner had I not been reading Harry Potter as well. So definitely check this out if you're a fan of Nev at all. It was a good read. It was worth the read. Just be cautious. It gets a little repetitive. And it is more or less tips and advice of how to become a better person. So yeah, that's really all I have for now. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I will see you soon. I don't know with exactly what video, because I'm not going to review Harry Potter because it's Harry Potter, but I do plan on reading Unholy Night by Seth Grahame-Smith within this month, and I'm super excited. As you guys don't know yet, because the video hasn't come out and it won't come out until after Christmas, in my Christmas unboxing / December haul, I got Let It Snow from my Secret Santa. So excited about this. I really want to read this month because it is kind of holiday themed and they're holiday stories. But we'll see what happens. Again, I want to reread as many Harry Potter books as I can with this Harry Christmas to You event going on all month. And I really want to read Unholy Night. So we'll see what happens. And I will see you guys later. Bye, guys. So basically, Neil put some catfish in with them, and the catfish will keep the cod agile. So he goes through kind of that kind of scenario. I say kind of a lot in these videos.